Intro, long before our time, in an age when colossal dinosaurs thundered across the continents, an equally spectacular drama was unfolding beneath the waves, before the first human footprints marked the land, and even before the familiar continents took their modern shape. Our planet was a world of water. This was the Mesozoic era, an epoch spanning over 180 million years, and for all that time, the oceans were the heart of the world, a vast, global ocean, warmer and higher than today's. A sprawling liquid kingdom. And it was teeming with life of a scale and ferocity that almost defies imagination. Life that had returned to the sea from the land, evolving into new and terrifying forms. These were not the oceans we know today, filled with whales, dolphins, and seals. They were ruled by giants, air-breathing reptiles that had reclaimed the aquatic realm. Magnificent creatures that swam the primordial depths, becoming the undisputed masters of their domain. For millions of years across the Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods, these titans engaged in an epic struggle for survival. It was a ballet of predator and prey, an evolutionary arms race played out on the grandest of stages. Join me now as we dive back through the mists of time, plunging into these ancient waters to meet the 10 largest of these incredible marine reptiles. Now, a quick clarification. They were not strictly speaking dinosaurs, which are a specific group of land-dwelling archosaurs, but they were their contemporaries, diverse groups of reptiles ruling the seas with the same spectacular dominance that dinosaurs held on land. So, let's begin our countdown of the top 10 biggest sea dinosaurs, the true marine reptile giants of the Mesozoic world. At number 10, we have a creature of legend, Leopleurodon. It was once mythologized in popular culture as a 25-meter behemoth, but paleontologists now place it realistically in the 6 to 7 meter range. But don't let the downsize fool you. Compact and immensely powerful, it was more like a giant saltwater crocodile, in scale, not a whale, a dense, muscular predator built for overwhelming force. Its primary weapon was a huge skull, nearly a quarter of its body length, armed with long, conical teeth designed for piercing flesh and holding onto large, struggling prey like fish and other marine reptiles. Driven by 4 powerful paddles, it could fly through the water, using its rear flippers for cruising, and all 4 for explosive ambush bursts from below. A true terror of the Jurassic seas. Coming in at number 9 is Temnodontosaurus. This early giant ichthyosaur from the Jurassic period could reach lengths of around 12 meters, the size of a large bus. Its most astonishing feature was its enormous eyes, up to 20 centimeters in diameter, the largest relative to body size of any known animal, ever. These were not just for show. Streamlined with a powerful crescent-shaped tail like a modern tuna, it cruised efficiently through the open ocean and could sprint at high speeds to chase down its meals. Those massive eyes allowed it to be a formidable pursuit predator, ruling the twilight zone by hunting squid, large fish, and even smaller ichthyosaurs in the deep, dark waters where light barely penetrated. Our number 8 is a true monster from down under, Kronosaurus, the apex pliosaur of the early Cretaceous Australian Eromanga Sea. It boasted a skull over 2 meters long, but unlike Leopleurodon, it was far more robustly built, engineered for tackling enormous prey like giant squid and other large marine reptiles. A short, power-loaded neck and 4 vast flippers drove its stiff, teardrop-shaped body through the water, culminating in brutal ambush strikes that were likely over in an instant. To come face-to-face with this 10-meter-long tyrant would be a humbling and final experience. It was a keystone predator that shaped its entire ecosystem. At number 7, we meet the master of the late Cretaceous seas, Mosasaurus hoffmanni. Not a pliosaur or ichthyosaur, but a colossal aquatic lizard, reaching lengths of up to 15 meters. Evolved from land-dwelling ancestors, it swam with a powerful, flattened tail that ended in a finned fluke, while its limbs had transformed into hydrofoils for steering and stability. Its serpentine skull housed a flexible lower jaw, similar to a snake's, allowing it to swallow enormous prey whole. This was backed by a second row of pterygoid teeth on its palate to ensure nothing escaped its grip. It was a generalist super predator, a true opportunist that ate anything it could catch, from fish and sharks to seabirds, and even other smaller mosasaurs. Number 6 is a close relative of Mosasaurus but a specialist, Tylosaurus. This was the sleek spear of the western interior seaway, a shallow sea that once split North America. It measured 13 to 14 meters long. More streamlined and agile than its bulkier cousin, Tylosaurus was built for rapid acceleration and precision strikes in the open water. Its signature weapon was a hard, toothless, bony ram at the end of its snout. The prevailing theory is that this was used for high-speed ramming attacks. Stun or cripple the prey with a devastating impact, then move in to deliver the fatal bite. It was a brutal and effective tactic, like a marine joust. Halfway through our list at number 5 is the unmistakable Elasmosaurus. This plesiosaur was about 14 meters long, but what made it extraordinary was its neck, which accounted for nearly half of that length. It possessed an incredible 72 neck vertebrae, the most of any known animal in history. For comparison, humans have just 7. This gave it incredible reach, but not the snake-like flexibility often depicted. Its strategy wasn't speed, but stealth and reach. It would approach schools of fish from below, its large body hidden in the gloom, using its long neck to probe the shoal and snatch unsuspecting fish with its small head and needle-like teeth. A discreet, living fishing rod. Its 4 large, wing-like paddles powered a serene, efficient cruising motion, allowing it to patrol vast territories in search of its next meal. For number 4, we have Dinosaurs. For a long time, this giant was considered among the largest of all mosasaurs, a global top predator of the late Cretaceous. While recent revisions suggest it may be a species of Tylosaurus rather than a distinct genus, its fossils still point to an animal of immense size and power. Its large, robust form remains undeniable. Whether a distinct genus or a giant Tylosaurus, this was a heavyweight contender at the absolute top of the late Cretaceous food webs, a true giant among giants. Entering the top 3 at number 3 is Prognathodon, the sledgehammer mosasaur. This beast was defined by its massively constructed skull, a biological battering ram. Unlike the slender, piercing teeth of other mosasaurs, Prognathodon had shorter, stouter conical teeth that were deeply rooted in its powerful jaws. Built for withstanding immense pressure and delivering bone-breaking power. It was a specialized durophage, a creature that eats hard-shelled prey. It could crush the shells of giant sea turtles and the toughest hard-shelled ammonites with ease, the marine equivalent of a hyena. Our runner-up at number 2 represents the longest marine reptiles of all time, the Shanosaurids, a family of giant ichthyosaurs, including Shanosaurus and Shastasaurus, which reached astonishing lengths of 20+ meters. The largest species, Shanosaurus sicaniensis, stretched to about 21 meters, longer than a modern sperm whale and rivaling the length of a blue whale. But despite their immense size, they were likely gentle giants. Some adult specimens are completely toothless, leading scientists to believe they were suction feeders, gulping down soft-bodied prey like squid and small fish, much like modern beaked whales. Remarkable bone beds found with multiple individuals suggest they were social animals that traveled in pods, perhaps migrating and calving in specific areas, just like the great whales of today. And at number 1, we have the undisputed kings of marine macropredation, the giant pliosaurs of the late Jurassic and early Cretaceous. This group includes titans in the 13 to 15 meter range, representing the pinnacle of ocean hunters. This includes the famous Pliosaurus funke, better known as Predator X, a creature whose bite force estimates were calculated to be 4 times more powerful than that of Tyrannosaurus rex. These are fragmentary giants, known from massive jawbones, vertebrae, and paddles that hint at individuals of truly terrifying proportions. Specimens like Pliosaurus carpenteri and the monster of Aramberi point to animals with skulls over 2.5 meters long and flippers the size of small cars. They were less like animals and more like living submarines. They hunted other giant reptiles, including ichthyosaurs and long-necked plesiosaurs. They were the apex among apex predators, a force of nature that likely feared nothing in its world. They were, without a doubt, the ultimate rulers of the prehistoric seas. So there you have it, our top 10. 10. Leopleurodon. 9. Temnodontosaurus. 8. Kronosaurus. 7. Mosasaurus. 6. Tylosaurus. 5. Elasmosaurus. 4. Dinosaurs. 3. Prognathodon. 2. Shonisaurus and Shastasaurus. And at number 1, the giant pliosaurs. While pop culture often exaggerates the sizes of these magnificent animals, the scientifically grounded reconstructions are staggering enough on their own. Researchers painstakingly scale these giants from better-known relatives, assembling puzzles from fragmentary bones to resurrect these titans in our minds. We see clear patterns of dominance. In the final 20 million years of the Cretaceous, it was the age of mosasaurs, which rose to spectacular dominance after the ichthyosaurs and pliosaurs had declined. They diversified into bruisers, rammers, and shell crushers, a perfect example of adaptive radiation, with evolution's toolkit being perfected for life at sea. Before them, the Jurassic was defined by two competing body plans: the pliosaurs, those short-necked, massive-skulled ambushers, and the ichthyosaurs, the streamlined pursuit specialists. Underwater flight powered by 4 flippers versus efficient fish-like tail thrust, two very different yet equally successful solutions to the challenge of ocean mastery. But their reign, which had lasted for over 150 million years, came to an abrupt and violent end. 66 million years ago, a global catastrophe sealed their fate. The impact of a massive asteroid triggered a chain reaction. Plankton died off, and the seas became acidified, collapsing the marine food webs from the very bottom up. For the kings at the top of this crumbling pyramid, there was nowhere to go. Their world vanished, leaving only silent bones buried in the seabed. Yet their legacy lives on, not in direct descendants, but in the ecological roles now filled by today's ocean giants, the whales, the sharks, the seals. They teach us a profound lesson about how power, size, and specialization shape fragile ecosystems, and how even the mightiest rulers are vulnerable to global change. When we look at the leviathans of our own time, we are seeing echoes of these ancient titans, a testament to life's enduring ability to produce giants. It's amazing to think that the longest of these reptiles weren't the scariest. Some, like Shawnosaurus, were gentle giants over 20 meters long, likely suction-feeding on squid. And that the bite estimates for Predator X dwarf even T-Rex, making it one of the most powerful predators to have ever lived, a true monster of muscle and leverage. And who could forget Elasmosaurus, packing 72 vertebrae into its neck, more than any other animal, creating nature's ultimate and strangest fishing rod. Or the brutal efficiency of Tylosaurus, which likely stunned its prey with a built-in battering ram, before delivering the final blow. From stealthy anglers to charging torpedoes and bone-crushing brutes, the diversity of these creatures and their hunting strategies is simply breathtaking. They were not dinosaurs, but in their time, they were absolute equals, rulers of a vast, three-dimensional world that we are only just beginning to fully understand. Their story is one of incredible evolutionary innovation and ultimate extinction, and it commands our respect, our wonder, and our humility. Outro. Our journey through the deep past has come to an end. We've witnessed creatures of staggering scale, power, and diversity, rulers of a lost world. Their world ended in a global catastrophe, but their fossilized remains are a legacy that instructs and fascinates us still. In the great whales and sharks of today's oceans, we see the echoes of these ancient titans, a reminder that the age of giants never truly ended. Thanks for diving deep with us into the prehistoric seas. If you enjoyed this countdown, please like, subscribe, and keep exploring the wonders of the past.